This is DJI latest wireless transmission system, and it's probably one of the craziest wireless transmission system that we ever tested on this channel. So let's begin. You see, normal video transmission systems usually have a 500-meter range. Now, when you're looking at more expensive ones, you get like a 1 kilometer range or something like that. But with this one, you get a 6 kilometer range, which is totally mind-blowing. This is something I never heard of. Now, one thing that I want to specify is that usually when you look at video transmission systems that have the same similarities with this one, except the range, this is the longest range I've ever seen, you're looking at a very high price. So if you're looking at SDI, HDMI, and also a very low latency and a long range, you usually spend around $5,000 or even $10,000. But with this one, you're gonna have to spend only $2,500, which is a really good price for what it has to offer. Now we're gonna mount this on my monitor, and we're gonna mount a camera inside the car, and we're gonna try to drive as far as we can and see how much the signal holds. 6 kilometer range seems a little bit too much, right? Most people would be fine with 500 or even 1 kilometer. But to be honest, I had transmission systems that had 1 kilometer range, and I wanted to film some car scenes, and the signal was very bad and it didn't hold up. And that's the reason I want to try it out with the car, because this is a scenario that I find myself quite often. If this is very good and we can drive even like 3 kilometers or 4 kilometers, I'm gonna be mind blown, because usually when you are inside the car, there are a lot of interference with the car's navigation systems and so on. So that's why I'm really curious to test it out with a car. So what's really cool is that in the box, you also get an SDI cable. So if you're going on a shoot and you don't have an SDI, you get a really nice one in the box. Everything is ready to go. We are set. I'm gonna press record here, and I'm gonna wave to Chipri. We also resetted our odometer from the car, so we can know exactly when and how long the signal lasted. So I think we can see it here on the screen as well. So hopefully we can judge it as good as we can. Wow, it's really far away now. That's far. Check it out. This is crazy. Now it works at its full potential, and I'm really mind blown. He's like super far away. Like, check it out. You can't even see the car. This is how far it is. Like, check out the distance. He's there. And the signal still looks decent. Like, we still have small quality loss here and there, but it's still holding super strong. We have some minor interruptions, but I think we lost him. So the image is back. I think he was in a area where, again, he was running out of our visual spectrum, let's say. But now the signal is strong again, which is quite crazy. It seems we managed to get a 4 kilometer range, which is quite cool. It's almost 6, but I'm pretty sure if we had like a more visible space around us, we would be able to do the 6. That is pretty impressive. Like, this is the farthest I ever tried a video transmission system. Even though we didn't hit like a 6 kilometer mark, I'm pretty sure if we were really high up and if we had like a really clear vision, we would have a pretty good signal of 6 kilometers. I really think the range test was quite a success. I honestly didn't think the system can go that far. Even though we didn't hit 6 kilometers, that was due to our part, not the system. Now what I want to do is test it out in a more dense frequency environment. So we're gonna go around the building and place the camera inside the apartment and see how good of a signal we can get. I pressed record on the Atomos, and now we're gonna see how good the fit is. I'm actually outside the apartment, so there's tons of Wi-Fi in my apartment, really good Wi-Fi, so we don't have interruptions. And now we're gonna go more and more and more and see how good the signal holds. So far I'm impressed because there's tons of walls here, tons of apartments with Wi-Fi and so on, and the feed is still strong, so this is really impressive. And by now we're quite far away from the apartment and we're starting to get some interference, but at this point it's not doable any longer. So I think this is the max we can get through walls. Right, so what's really interesting is I changed the camera position so we can go outside, and apparently the signal now is better. So we are in the same spot we lost signal last time, and now we have signal. So we're gonna enter the elevator and it seems we still have connection, which is crazy. So let's go downstairs. This is mind-blowing. Only by changing the camera position now we have a better signal, and we didn't have any interruptions yet. So what is going on? Now it's starting to go away, but it's actually really impressive. Like, we're in an elevator where signal shouldn't be that good and we still had signal. Now obviously it's gone, but as soon as we're gonna get outside it's gonna be better again. So the signal is back, like I told you. As we went outside the elevator, the signal got back and it's super strong. So we're gonna try to go as far as we can and see how good the signal works in the city. Let's go. What's really interesting is that we're not in the visible spectrum of the transmission and we still have a really good signal. So I'm really happy with that. Still going strong. One thing that is really impressive about this system is the fact that it has its own batteries. So it comes with its own DJI batteries, and like all DJI batteries, this one holds really good. Like, we've been using this system and we haven't charged the batteries yet, and they still hold pretty good. Like, there's only one line went away, so like 1 or 2 hours of usage and we still have tons of battery, which is really, really cool. So feed is still going strong, so we're gonna still go. There's the camera and this is how far we are. It's really, really far away. It's like crazy. I can barely see myself on the camera. So we're right over there and the signal is crystal clear. Like, this is crazy. So we're gonna still keep on moving and see when the feed is gonna get interrupted. But what's really impressive is the fact that we tested it with a car. And like I told you, usually when you place the system inside the car, you get a lot of interference. But now that the system is outside and we have a lot of visibility between each other, it performs at another level. So it's really impressive. Now we're gonna try to go that way as well, because the road is closing right here, and see if we can get even a bigger range. So we're gonna go that way. All right, so now it seems that the feed is getting weaker and weaker and we're starting to lose connection. We still have connection though, but the image is untangible. You cannot really understand what's going on. It looks like a Van Gogh painting. But there's still signal. So this is pretty crazy. One of the things that I really like about this transmitter is the fact that it's super easy to use. It's basically plug and play. You just power it on, it connects automatically, and you just have to plug in your cables and that's it. You don't really need to do much about your settings and so on. Although if you want to modify your settings, you do have a really beautiful display here on the side, which unlocks different kind of submenus and menus. So basically, if you hold this button down, you access your menu, which is super easy and intuitive. You also have a fan, you also have different kind of settings here that allow you to modify, again, more technical stuff. I personally didn't feel the need to modify anything about it. It's super silent. The fan is already in auto, so it can power the fans on and off, but I couldn't hear the fans while I was shooting, so it's extremely silent. Another thing that I really like about it is the fact that it has 2 ports. You basically can use it with SDI or with HDMI. But you can also do cross conversion. You can plug in an HDMI here and you can take out SDI. So basically that is what cross conversion means. Another cool thing about the system is the ability to pair unlimited numbers of receivers. This increases efficiency for crews operating with multiple members and teams, such as lighting, art department, and props, by providing real-time monitoring for different departments. It can also transmit metadata via SDI. Also, metadata can assist the on-site DIT in real time importing of the camera and lens data information into QTape. The DIT can use the QTape software to perform secondary processing of live images, such as real-time composition, color grading, playback, and even pre-composition of green screen. So this unlocks a lot of possibilities for people who film in very professional sets. There are also a few differences between this system and the previous one of them being the latency. The new system is slower with 2 milliseconds than the previous one. So this one has a 70 milliseconds latency and the previous one has 68, which I don't think our eyes can manage to process that. Another really cool thing about this new one is the fact that it transmits SDI via metadata, so the old one cannot do that. And in terms of range, it's pretty much the same. So this one I think comes with a few improvements because sending information through SDI is very important for a lot of people. So in the box, you basically have your 2 transmitters, 2 batteries, and you also have the possibility to mount this, which is really cool. So basically what this does, it's an adapter to use this transmitter with different kind of batteries. So for example, if you have a lot of MP batteries laying at home, you can use this to power on your transmitters. Although from my experience and from how efficient this transmitter is with DJI batteries, I would probably buy 2 extra DJI batteries because this holds quite a lot. Like from our testing, it held quite a few hours really good. Like we used it for the entire review and we still have half a battery, which is really crazy compared to other transmitters that I've tested. This is really impressive. Now you do get also a bunch of cables and some extra antennas, and that's pretty much it. You also get a charger from the batteries, and there is one thing that I really love and I think it's really important. So let's say you like filming on a gimbal quite a lot. Well, with this accessory you can basically attach this to the plate of the Ronin, and I'm gonna show you right now. Alright, so we have this tied down to our transmitter, which I'm probably gonna leave it here. And now what I do is I take my gimbal and I put it here, and then you lock it. And now you have your transmitter down at the bottom of the gimbal, which is super convenient, and you can have a more professional setup without interfering with your calibration process. What I heard is that you can basically use this to control your LiDAR system, which I'm not gonna test it out today. I have the LiDAR system cable, but I need to figure out how it works before I record it. So let's hope for the best that from now on you can use the LiDAR system for handheld camera rigs. So we're gonna test that in the next video, but until then, hopefully this video was helpful enough for you to decide if this transmitter system from DJI is good or not. From my perspective, this is probably one of the best video transmitter systems I have ever tested, and it's totally mind-blowing. I'm Alexander Don, and thanks a lot for watching. Peace.